Hey y'all, this is Minute here. It is the second week of the War of the Visions Halloween event, and we are going to go through the shop updates as well as the news and see what we have going on this week. So we will start off by taking a look at our shops. So the first thing to take a look at, we have the Halloween campaign shop part 2. In this shop, you will find some free growth eggs, some story skip tickets for Gil. Those are, of course, always worth making sure you pick up each day. And then, of course, the bottleneck of everyone out there, these rainbow fragments of thoughts for 180 paid viz each. You can get 3 of them. I, of course, have already purchased those. I always find them to be relatively good value if you're willing to spend viz on fragments of thought, which I am because I like to max a lot of different units. I'll also probably be picking this up a little bit later. I don't need it right now, but at only $1 a day, it tends to be a good value. Everything else in this shop, for the most part, looks like a bad deal to me. We've got these vision card training packs, which just have magicites and growth eggs. Never a great thing to spend a bunch of viz on. Job enhancing packs, unit enhancing packs. The only thing that looks like it might be good and worth considering in here to me is potentially this guy. So obviously the XP cubes are not particularly great value, but you do get this select UR unit shard times 40 summon ticket. And reading this, it looks like this can be used for Halloween Leela and Ryu. So if you're running towards the end of the week and you're short on these shards, this could be something worth picking up. I'm also suspecting, based on the way this is worded, that Gilgamesh and Superstern are on here. And while this isn't quite as good a value as we've seen previously with the 1k paid packs for a select UR unit shard times 40, it is still good value for them in that you will be getting them for half price. So that's something to also consider here. Again, I don't know that I'll be doing that. I will probably try to build my Ryu using FreeViz, but it's nice to have that as sort of like a last resort. And I might pick it up at the end for my Superstore, or I might just wait for more of those 1k versions to come along. We will see how that goes. As far as the rest of the shop, I almost always buy out these growth eggs when they're available. Let's see. Yeah. Just because you can never have enough eggs. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, and then moving on, we have our standard new featured new vision card shop where we see more of these eggs we can buy out. Again, I will probably buy. Let's go ahead and buy those, because eggs are very precious. And then you got your standard shards for Mask of Deceit, shards for Exorcist, and shards for Bloody Moon. And then we have this 8-element enhancement shop, which looks to be crap. I'm gonna advise everyone to stay as far away from the shop as possible. No good can come of even looking in this shop. The worst case here is you open up the shop and accidentally spend a lot of viz for trash. Nothing in here is worth buying. Like, let's look at this guy. This is not worth it at all. Do not waste your viz in here, guys. So that's the regular shop. We've also, of course, got the Mog shop, where we will see You can buy the Crimson Saber for 3,000 medals. If you have not already gotten that for your reign, make sure you do. There's a Rainbow Vision Sphere in here. It does not look like we can get any more Rainbow Fragments from the tower, though. So hopefully there are some that drop as part of clearing the floors, because that's a little disappointing to see. I'm always looking for more Rainbow Fragments. If we take a look at the October Summon Medals B, we will see that you can now get the Mask of Deceit. You can get the Exorcist Shards and the Bloody Moon Shards as well now, using the same medals as last week if you have any left over. And then you can get all these other units too, and we'll go into why that is when we take a look at the banner here in a moment. And that's pretty much it for the Mog Shop. Now, when we go look at the banner, we will see, hold on. I've already done my pulls for the day, so one of the banners, which I think is the best value, won't be here. But we'll take a look at the ones that are, talk about them, and then I'll go to the news and show you the banner that I did and walk you guys through my thinking on why I did that one. So we have a 5-step 10x summon here for that guarantees Exorcist at the end. If you want the Exorcist card, this is going to be the best way to do it. It's guaranteed on step 5. It doesn't require any paid viz. You get these October Summon Medal Bs on the way. This is the way to get the Exorcist card. Absolutely. It's just sort of your standard step up. If we look at the drop rates, I believe I don't believe they are boosted. But it does have Halloween Ryu and Halloween Leela on it if you have not picked them up. And then when we get down to the... Here we go. Oh, actually, it looks like a Mask of Deceit and Exorcist. And I'm assuming as well the Bloody Moon is boosted as well on this. So this is definitely a good step up to do if you want the Exorcist card. If you prefer the Mask of Deceit card, you want to pull on this banner. But if you have any interest in the Exorcist card, I would skip this banner entirely. Mask of Deceit will be here for a long time. It is not limited, whereas Exorcist is. So this is the one to pull on, I feel like, if you're going to pull on one of these step-ups and chase one of these vision cards. There's, of course, the standard banner with these standard drop rates. I would not worry about this one at all unless you have exhausted your other options. I will dive into the stats on the cards real fast because there is something I want to highlight that I mentioned for my news on Sunday that I think is very exciting. So this Exorcist card gave out 20 Man-Eater here. And we were doing some theory crafting on my Twitch stream earlier in the week. And we were even thinking that this would only come up max out at like 10, and that might be a pretty good number, right? With 10 Man-Eater, you're looking at an Oldoa that's maybe doing like 4k per hit with a Drain Force build. 20 Man-Eater is just absolutely insane. This is going to turn her into a Drain Force Beast, or even with the other benefits on this card, right? The defense piercing rate up, the slashes piercing rate up. Like, she almost doesn't even need a Drain Force at that point, because she's cutting through defense, she's cutting through any slash resistance, and just hitting like a beast with this card. This is a really great card for Oldoa here, and I'm really hoping that this makes her meta relevant. I realize she doesn't have a lot of range or a lot of movement still, but I would like to see her just become this really nasty, hard-hitting unit that if it gets to you is just going to wreck your face. I think that would be a lot of fun for the meta to shake things up. And then we also talked about this during the news last week, and the fact that this is a Pierce attack up 20 is pretty big for a limited bestowed effect. I really like this card for Glaciella now because it does address her big weakness against missile attack. Meanwhile, it's giving her essentially 30 attack up between the Maneater and the Pierce attack in PvP. This just is a very solid Glaciella card, I feel like. And then I'm a little disappointed that's only 10 wind attack resistance for Mont, but I still hope that this could make him a bit more relevant as a tank again. So I am excited about that as well. Continuing on through the banners, we see this porcelain. Oh, we see that we have the standard UR Vision card guaranteed. And now this is a this bit is not worth pulling. It's 2k paid. I don't believe the drop rates are boosted at all. Let's take a quick look. Looks like they are not boosted at all. Exorcist is on here at least, which is nice, but it's not boosted. You only get one UR, and the UR pull's getting pretty big at this point. I would not recommend pulling for this at all. It feels very much like a trap to me. And then we're going to get into these special Porcelain Tower release commemoration banners. And these last for 2 days each. We'll take a look at the news updates so you can see who's all coming in them. They are great if you need these specific units. So there's no summon limit on this. You can do the steps as many times as you want. And the cool thing on this banner is, and the way that these work, is they're going to be 6k step ups where 10 units are where on step 3 the featured drop units drop weights are doubled. So that's probably going to be pretty good if you need those units. As someone who has a lot of URs and a lot of URs MLB'd already, it's probably not worth it to me because because I don't think any of these banners are going to have 2 units paired that I both want to MLB. Though if you are lacking Lucia or Glaciella, this seems like a good banner because of the Dario MR as well. That's a nice little perk if you want to pull on that. But there are no guaranteed URs on this, though it does get you these October summon medals that you can use for your limited time cards, limited time units. So that's nice. But unless you really need both of these URs, I would probably skip these banners as well. Let's see, were these paid? Looks like it's regular Visior, so that's at least a plus for free-to-play players. And that's probably why the guarantee isn't on here. And if we look at the drop rates, let's see what doubling actually means for that last step. So for the normal slots, this is going to give you a 3.2% chance to land one of the UR units, which isn't particularly great. I mean, it's better than normal rates. You're going to get a 6% chance of the MRs, right? Almost a 3% chance of Dario. That's okay. And then let's see, in the last slot, you're looking at still just a 3.2% chance of getting one of the URs, but Dario does jump up to an almost 16% chance. So if you really want Dario, this is a great way to try to get him. But these banners are not going to be for me, at least. And then there are these UR unit guaranteed 10 times summons, where you get 2 elements, and then all of the units of that elements are in the pool with a chance to drop. I don't know if they're the only URs you can get here, but I do believe you are guaranteed one of them in the last slots. So we can take a quick look at that. It looks like all URs are in the pool for the normal slots. So that's less than stellar. Are there any boosted rates? No boosted rates for the regular slots. So this is really just all about the guaranteed slot in this banner. And if we take a look at that, it's going to be guaranteed to be a UR. And I think depending on the banner and the number of units will tell you what the drop rate is. But yeah, if you really need maybe like 50% of these units, it might be worth doing this. If you don't, that's a little questionable. This one, at least for me, got Miranda, Ildira, Lucia, Yerma, and Ayaka are already maxed. So only Uldoa and Glaciella would be good for me. Doesn't really feel worth it. So we will not be doing that banner. Now going to the news so we can look at this a little more in depth. We will see that the notices. You'll see that they have these banners. So Water and Wind features Lucia and Glaciella. And then we're going to get Super Stern with Frederica. I'll be curious to see what Super Stern's drop rates are. But this could be the best chance you get to get Super Stern for a little while. Then we get Kilfay and Engelbert. And then Rain and Laswell. This last one is potentially tempting to me. Just because I need both of them. But without the guarantee... I don't need both of them, but I need more shards for them. But without the guarantee, I'm not convinced it's worth it. I am a little disappointed that we don't seem to be getting commemorative shops with each of these units like we did during the last event. Because during the last tower, we got shops where you could get 40 of shards for each of the featured units every 2 days. And that was a great opportunity to pick up and build a bunch of units. And I would love to see that for some of these. Because I would definitely pick up Rain and Laswell and Kilfay shards at least. And so scrolling down, if we skip these commemorative banners that we just looked at, we'll get to the guaranteed URs. Here we go. So we get Water and Wind units here. This one again does not offer me a lot of value, but it does. It could be great for newer players. This is our Dark and Lightning one. The interesting thing here is it does reveal that we've only got one Lightning UR in the game right now, which is really interesting. All of these Dark units are good and worth getting, I would say, for newer players in particular, because you really need some Dark slashing units in your team, and Whisper, Stern, Venera, and Super Stern would all be Dark slashing units. Ziza's a great Steel Time unit, as is Venera, and Ziza can even fit into Dark slashing comps as well, and that's really one of the best teams you can run for content like raids and Trials of Reckoning. Dark Slash is a great way to go. On this banner, I feel like this one feels very much like a trap. You got Mashri, Rob, and Eileen on here. Kilfay and Engelbert definitely seem like the biggest prizes. Tone is not a bad pull either if you're going for an evasion build. But the fact that Mashri, Rob, and Eileen are all featured on this one really screams skip to me here. Even though this is the unit that I have, or the banner that I have the fewest units maxed on, right? Only Engelbert shards would be a waste if I pulled here. But I still don't think it's worth pulling just because None of these units are particularly amazing. And then here's a banner that is actually sort of appealing to me. If I wasn't about to max my Gilgamesh and I didn't already have Medina, I would almost certainly consider pulling on this one for the last Wall of the Rain or the Victoria. Don't really want the Elda, so we will see what I end up doing here. I probably will skip, but I think this is a pretty solid banner overall for people to pull on. Moving on to the Halloween campaign summons, we're going to dive into the banner in more depth that I've already done and why we did that one. So here we go. There's this Halloween campaign, 6 UR guaranteed step up 10 times summon. So the big thing here is the limited vision card is here, Ryu's here, Lil Leela's here. This thing's also giving you 200 B-type October summon medals on each step. So if you think you might go to Pity and buy Ryu or Leela straight up in the shop, this is the banner to do it on, because you're getting double the medals towards that Pity with every pull you do. I really wish I had waited until this week to Pity out and get my Ryu. Specifically because of this, because I would have done this 6 UR summon and saved essentially 6k free viz. And so I wish I had waited, but the fact that this is available is great. And then here's the really crazy thing. If you summon a UR unit you already possess, it will be converted into 80 unit shards. So if even if you've already got Ryu or Leela, this might be worth pulling if you haven't maxed them, because you have a shot at getting 80 of their unit shards with a dupe. If there's a bunch of other units you want shards for, another great option here, right? You're either, like, as long as you don't have a ton of MLB units, you are actually looking at pretty great odds of getting, like, either a new unit or a ton of shards for units you might build down the road. It doesn't work for the vision cards, unfortunately, but I really think this is actually a pretty good banner and not a trap. I don't think this is a trap. I did it. I was pretty happy overall with my results. You can check out that YouTube video later tonight if you're interested. But yeah, I definitely think this is the prize banner and obviously the best one to pull with paid viz. We've already talked about the shop lineups. We'll take a quick look at the missions. Don't think there's a whole lot else for us to look at. But if we look at our missions, we will see that we have our new story quest, which has 2 rainbow fragments in it, which is excellent. I always love to finish off a chapter for those rainbow fragments, and this nice big stash of Vizier at the end of it. So that is great to see. In the events, we see, let's see, I don't believe we have any new events. Because I don't believe we get any challenge missions for Porcelain Tower. So yeah, the big pile of Viz is going to be coming from here for us all. So that's everything for that. And then I want to end the video with a quick shout out to my guildmates in Chimera. This is Daniel Boone's guild. We hit Diamond 3 as of this morning, which is a pretty big milestone for us. I'm very proud of the guild. I know a lot of folks have been working hard towards that. I'm a little bit ashamed that I only 1-starred yesterday on the day that we hit Diamond 3, but we made it there, and I'm really proud of us overall. And then I also want to give a shout out to our guild leader, Daniel Boone. I will show you guys why in a moment. If we go take a look at a class match, Our guild leader, Daniel Boone, is currently absolutely crushing it in class match. It looks like some folks have... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wrong ranking. As you can see, Daniel Boone here is ranked number 1, tied for first place with FB Sakes. Daniel Boone is an excellent live PvPer. He has his own podcast that he does with Prodigy and Lock D, and on live PvP tactics. And he's just really, really awesome at live PvP. We are all rooting for him and really happy for him that he's been able to do so well. So with any luck, he will finish out on top. And yeah, congratulations to Daniel Boone on kicking so much ass in class match. And that brings us to the end of our video. Actually, I'm sorry, before we do that, let's go ahead and look at events. Because I think there is something worth talking about in here. So Porcelain Tower is obviously back. 30 floors. Dr. Diggs, if you have not seen it, has posted an excellent PDF guide to Reddit on what you want for each floor. I will be following that later and probably making a video about it. And the big thing, the last thing to really talk about is this thing. Because I know a lot of people weren't quite sure what to make of it. If we look at this, it's broken up by element again. And the big thing to keep in mind here as you go look at this is, yes, these do not appear to have any rewards for first-time completions. So there's no need to try to complete each of them. And the big thing to keep in mind is that some of these are going to be significantly better than others. So if you want UR shards, for instance, this feels like a bad one to go after because Frederica is the only lightning UR here. You got a 1 in 6 chance of getting her shards. I would not recommend going after that one. Earth, again, you got Killfay, Ketone, Eileen. You got at least a decent shot of getting UR shards, but again, I feel like Killfay's a clear prize there as opposed to Eileen, and Ketone would be a good second place. Let's see, let's take a look at some of these others real fast. Wind is obviously very populated, and so depending on which units you have maxed already, this may or may not be a good option. You got a 50-50 split, but for me at least, Oldoa is the only one that is not turning straight into soul metals. Ice, we're looking at Gilgamesh, Laswell, Victoria, Medina. This actually looks really good to me. Medina's the only waste here. I might do some pulls on the ice one. Fire, we're looking at Rain and Elda. This is pretty bad odds, right? You're looking at 1 in 3, and you don't really want Elda at all. Let's take a look. Water. Okay, water has one of the best odds of getting a UR, so that's actually pretty nice. For me, at least, Glaciella is the only not waste here, so this might be a skip, especially since I don't have Glaciella yet. Light, I think, is going to be problematic solely because Mashri and Rob, and then I already have Engelbert maxed. I'm not going to bother doing this one. And then Dark, of course, is going to have a ton of URs on it. You got Ziza, Stern, Whisper, Venera, Super Stern. This feels to me like the winner. If you are a new player, this is the one you probably pull on. Right, you got great odds of getting UR shards. They could be Ziza, they could be Venera, they could be Super Stern. And Stern and Whisper are not bad fallbacks. So that would be my recommendation on these. Okay, now that actually does really bring us to the end of our video. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I know that was a long video, but there was a lot to go over. So
Hope you all have a great day, and be sure to check out my poll video when it gets posted later this evening.